Welcome to episode 26 of the Be More podcast. Today I am joined by a guy in Canada who goes by the name of Joyce, who I come across via Instagram. He started following me on Instagram about a month or so ago, I think, and he was following my content and was liking a lot of my stuff. So we reached out to each other and I saw a few of his videos and was like, he seems like a motivational guy. Maybe I should get him on the podcast. Anyway, a few messages later and we jumped on Skype with no notes prepared, didn't know anything about him, and we filmed a podcast for 40 minutes, and I'm not joking, it could have been 4 hours. The only reason why it was 40 minutes was because my Mac ran out of battery, so we had to call the call short, but there will be plenty more episodes with this man because, as you're about to find out, he's a motivational guy who's got an incredible message and he wants to have a great impact. So he's just about to embark on the whole social media world. He launched his own podcast, YouTube channel, and his Instagram's new and stuff. So exciting times for him, and I'm excited for you to all listen to the podcast. So do me all a favour, if you are listening to this, screenshot this and put it on your Instagram story and share this podcast with as many people as you can. And do me a favour as well, if you are a fan of the podcast and you enjoy this episode, leave me a review, and I'll be forever grateful. But without further ado, here is the interview and episode number 26 of the Be More podcast. This is the Be More podcast. I am your host, Jack Williams, and this is a show all about health, nutrition, mindset, and performing at our very best. And this is going to be your catalyst to being more. Welcome to episode 26 of the Be More podcast. Guys and girls, I am your host Jack Williams, and today we are joined by Joyce, who is out in Canada. And at the moment you're in, is it a place called Banff, mate?
Yeah, right in Banff right now on a vacation, yeah.
Awesome. So if you're watching on YouTube, Carl's going to show you his view right now that he's got me on Skype from. So
check this out, you guys. Check this out.
That is ridiculous. And it's what, 6 a.m. there, mate?
Yeah, 6 a.m.
So he's got up nice and early on his holiday to chat to me on the podcast. What an absolute legend. And we only know each other, just to give you some context, through Instagram. And this is completely raw. We don't even know what each other's going to say. Just a few little chats on Instagram, sharing a bit of motivation. And we've come around to be on the podcast together. So, mate, introduce yourself. What we do with all the guests, I try and get them to, in 1 minute, tell their life story. So, yeah, a bit about you, who you are, and then 1 minute, there's your challenge, mate. Can you do your life story in 1 minute?
1 minute, yeah. Always into athletics, grew up, loved athletics, kind of saved my life when I was younger. Got into a lot of trouble, got in with the wrong crowd, had some family members that were involved in some bad things, so I had a very easy option into the wrong lifestyle. Turned around real quick, decided that wasn't for me after a few things. Got into personal training, went to school. Unfortunately, got started a little later than I would have liked, but I've been rolling strong for about 12 years now. Been self-employed, running a business in 2 cities for, about 11 and a half years now, I guess you could say, and loving it, man. Just hit 40, actually. Just turned 40 on May 30th there on Wednesday. So rock and rolling, man. You know, life is good. That's it.
There's no way you're 40.
I just turned 40, man. Swear to God, 2 days ago.
You look awesome for 40.
Yeah, well, you know, man, it's the lifestyle, dude, right? It's the lifestyle, man. We maintain it, we keep it up, we rocking, you know?
Love it. Tell us about your lifestyle. So, yeah, tell us about that, and then we'll go through your story as well, because there's some bits in there that I'd love to...
Tell us about what do you want to know, sorry?
Your lifestyle, to give you that look at 40. People will want to know that.
Well, you know what, man? I was an athlete for over 10 years. Always involved in sports, competitive, and then, you know, when I retired from sports and kind of decided to focus on my business and my life, it's still a very big part. I mean, I work on the training side. I train probably an average of about 10 to 12 training hours a day. I run all the business side on top of that. My wife and I do all of our pre-cooking for our meals on Sunday for the week. I make sure to get at least an hour of training in every day. I take 1 day off, usually Sunday. That'll either consist of boxing, Thai boxing, which is my background, or weight training, cardiovascular, anything along those lines, man. Got to stay on it. It's, you got to feed the beast, right? I got a lot of things to accomplish, a lot of goals to hit, A lot of places to go in the world, a lot of people to meet, a lot of things to do. Got to be strong. I need energy. I got to deliver energy to my clients. I got to give them energy. I got to be above them all the time. So no matter how busy my day is, nobody can ever know that. Nobody can ever see me when I'm tired, when I've had 4 hours sleep. So this is my way, man. This is my method. This is the train that carries me through, man. Is my training and my diet. You know, I know you know it, man. You're out there living it.
Yeah,
right?
Mate, I'm excited just from that first little. Yeah, I don't even know you, and that's already got me fired up just to hear your little spiel there. So, like yourself, I'm working like 12, 14 hours a day, but I'll always make sure I get my training in. So, like you say, the king eats first, and we've got to fuel this train, like you say, to run a business and help people and have that impact, and then share that energy with people. You know.
Absolutely, man. You know, constantly, I'm sure you see it out in the UK there, but here in Canada, you know, and in the United States as well, you see a lot of people in the training industry, and trainers. We're supposed to be leaders. We're supposed to be motivators. We're supposed to be the example for people. We're that connection to change someone's lives. And you see trainers out there that aren't practicing what they preach. You know, they're overweight, or they're lazy, or they're sitting there eating, you know, shitty food in front of their clients. Their energy's low. They're watching TV, checking their cell phone when they're with their clients. They're just not into it. But, you know, we are really that connection for somebody, no matter what stage they are in their life, whether they're, you know, a high profile executive, you know, corporate, you know, whatever, or they're a housewife, doesn't matter. We're that connection for someone to make that change in their life and to be who they want to be. So you need to show up. So that's my way of showing up, is I invest in myself first so that I can put forward and make sure that I'm delivering the best version of me every client I meet and every business call I have, every contact, every opportunity that's there. I'm 100%.
Your mindset's awesome. How did you get that? Have you always had it? Because obviously you said you had a bit of a bad start. Talk us through it.
Yeah, man. I think, you know, when I was younger, I was very lost. Like I said, I got into, you know, a lot of trouble when I was young. I was with the wrong people. And, you know, there was a few things that happened to me in a life moment. And I remember sitting back one day, and I was working this shitty job at a call center. And I realized, I said, you know what, I haven't done anything with my life. I've gotten out of trouble. I've changed things around, but I have no education. I have no direction. And I was looking around at the people around me, and they just looked so checked out, man. They were so out of life. And I remember just putting the phone on hold, and I went to the washroom to just take a walk. And I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And I figured the one passion that I always had was sports. It was athletics, it was fitness, was working out. So it was a natural progression for me to go look into that. And so then I went into exercise physiology, and then took it from there. And that's what kind of transferred me over. And I mean, I got into this real quick after school. I jumped in. I walked into this. There was the first personal training studio that I came into, and they said, listen, we don't hire anyone without a complete university degree. And I said, listen, man, you're going to see me again. I'm going to call you every single day. I need to be here. I saw this place was electric. The stuff I saw, I walked in, and it just changed my mind and my perspective as to what this industry could be. So I went in there, man. And to be honest, I nailed all the interviews. They put me through like a 6-stage interview process. And I worked for free, essentially. They said, like, listen, we don't even know what to pay you. I said, don't worry about it. I'm getting paid on the experience. Let's sort that out. Let me just get started and show you what I can do. And again, I really didn't know what I could do yet, because it was my first real job in the industry. I just believed in myself, and I guess really what I knew from my own knowledge and my own experience in the industry and in athletics and fitness, and what I could do for people. And I looked around, and I took some tips, and I made it happen, man. And I blew it up, became the busiest employee there, working from night shift to day shift, took anyone I could, and did that for about 2 years, and then started my own business. And then the rest was history, you know.
Awesome. So how old were you then, mate?
Say again?
How old was you then?
So I'm 40 now. So I started when I was 27 years old.
Nice. So
yeah.
You just generated business for 2 years working for somebody else, and then you was like,
I did. But, you know, I generated business there. I had a lot of clients that followed me when I first left. This was starting the business in Calgary. But I'm an ambitious guy, man. I mean, I had a lot of holes in the schedule. Somebody that I follow and look up to once said to me, you want to meet the devil, have white space on the calendar. So that was my goal. As I said, how can I fill my calendar up? And I'm not, I can't be focused strictly on pay yet, because nobody knew me. people out there in the community. I was going to, sell my services, and nobody knew me. Nobody had time for me, right? So I had to figure a way, what could I do to make it worth their time to talk to me? So I gave things out for free. I walked around on a street. I handed out workouts for free on this little postcard that I made up. I watched people throw them away as I walked away. I was thinking, shit, I want to go pick that up, but I don't want to look bad picking things up off the street. So that's how I started, man. And then I started approaching companies and corporations, and where there was corporate tower gyms. And I just stayed on it, man. And it took me 6 months of like literally cold calling, showing up, handing out free workouts. And that's where the business started. And then the next challenge, I'll just add to that. Then the next challenge, I did that for about a year strong. And during that time, I had met Elizabeth, who's now my wife. And I said to her, I've always been enticed to kind of live somewhere else. So maybe we move to Vancouver. So we moved to Vancouver. I hired a couple people in Calgary to kind of run the business. Meanwhile, I had no idea about hiring people or what to do. Moved to Vancouver, and then did it all over again, man. Started from scratch all over again. During that time, my wife was actually diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called Crohn's disease. So she went through that. We had about 6 months of her in and out of hospital. She couldn't work. So, I would get up early in the morning, 6 a.m., and I'd hit the street. I'd have no job, nowhere to go, but I was literally trying to build the business thinking, fuck, I got to get this thing going together. I mean, I got this girl dependent on me. She's got these unexpected health problems coming in. We're living in a new city. We don't know anyone. And I think it was just, when you're forced with that type of challenge or adversity, man, it's either fight or flight, you know what I'm saying? And certain individuals, my personality was never to quit. So that was a big push for me.
That's awesome, man. That's so inspiring. Like I'm hearing this fresh for the first time. I don't know, obviously the listeners are as well. So I'm almost just like goosebumps here, sat here, speechless. So yeah, you're inspiring, mate. Carry on talking. What happened next?
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Well, that part's kind of emotional for me even too. I remember that, and just seeing this, seeing her in the hospital in and out, it was hard. I mean, I can feel that now when I'm talking about it, even just going back to that state. So my way of dealing with that was just really like push hard, and make sure that I can take care of this woman and make sure she's good now, by the way, health and all that. She's fantastic. She's seek great medical care. We've done a lot with nutrition and fitness. She was always into fitness herself. But watching someone like that have fitness and health like taken away from you was a big wake up call, man, to really realize firsthand too how important our industry is for people and how important it is for their lives. We are preventative healthcare on the front line. And I say to people, I mean, if you're not serious about this job, step aside, let the real players, because you're going to get rolled over pretty soon. Because there's guys like you and I coming around saying, hey, we love this. We live and breathe this. We lose sleep for this every single day. We're passionate about giving back and helping people. And if you're in the way and you're just sitting there and you're not paying attention to these people in front of you, watch out, man. You know what I mean? There's a storm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's people like us that care and that want to make that difference. And that's why I think ultimately is we probably, and I can speak for myself, but I'm guessing the same for you, is we loved fitness. We loved health and fitness. We loved athletics. We loved nutrition. And we had a desire to help people. And that's how we put it together and made a business of it.
100%. And if there's people like myself and yourself like pushing it out there, then we can help influence as many people as we can. So like you say, use the positives that you can get in your health from exercise, from nutrition, and obviously the effect it has. And how has like nutrition and fitness been for your wife since, with regards to her own condition now?
Oh, it's been absolutely integral, man. I mean, it's been huge. We remember meeting with specialists, and these are kind of the top line dogs, and they just said, nutrition, don't worry about it. Do whatever you got to do. Just carry on. So we started kind of doing our own research, and it was not the case. It was poor medical advice. So anyhow, we just kind of seeked our, take care of yourself, right? So we went out there and did it ourselves, and she's phenomenal now. She's a complete athlete. She's working crazy long days like I am. And she's very driven, very healthy.
Is she a personal trainer also? She's training clients?
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, she is. So she works with me in the business. When we originally got together, she was doing something entirely different. And she hated her job, and that was another thing too. She hated her job, and I was very busy at the time. So I said, "Listen, why don't you come work with me, shadow with me, see what I do, see if you like it." She loved it, and so I brought her in. I just said, "Hey, listen, come and work with me. Let's do this together, you know." And
That's
we worked
awesome.
together for a very brief time in Calgary, and then we moved to Vancouver and started it all over again. So her lack of role in helping start the business in Vancouver was just due to the health issues that she faced as soon as we moved there. She had to deal with that. But other than that, man, she was game and just loving it. So we've been rolling strong ever since. We've been together now 10 years. So,
Mate, awesome.
Yeah.
I've got so many questions. My mind's going crazy. So you said that obviously the advice you had from the hospital and from the professionals was don't worry about nutrition. And this
Absolutely.
is obviously something that is happening over here as well. And all of these diseases and the heart disease problems, obesity, these are all things that we can prevent from our lifestyle and exercise and nutrition. And people don't even realise that. And we have the NHS here. I'm not sure what you have there, but it's just these are all preventative problems that I want podcasts like this and more people to spread the message that all these problems that you have, even with mental health.
Absolutely, 100%.
We can help you work with that, with nutrition, eating better, exercise, even if it's just walking, right? But there's so many benefits to be had from the message that me and you are trying to share, and that we aren't doing it to try and increase our business. We're doing it because we genuinely want to help people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to grow your business, right? I mean,
No.
we love what we love what we do, and I mean, we offer a phenomenal service. Like you said, we're on the front line of preventative healthcare. I mean, there's obesity, it's at a all-time rate. Diabetes, all-time rate. Cancer, all-time high. I mean, these are things we could be on that front line of preventing this for people. I mean, if you could prevent diabetes for 10 people in your life, like what a gift is that? What if you could be on the front line of treating cancers, with people outside of obviously medical, care. But I mean, we're on the front line of that, man. We have the opportunity, and people need to step up and take this thing seriously. And the more reach we can get in communication like this, you and me talking across the world, is we get to hit more people and kind of a larger audience. And maybe this conversation helps one person. Well, then it's all worth it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Hopefully that one person would just drop us a line and tell us, hey,
to be honest, yeah, I think it's me. Like, just speaking to you, helping me. I want to be fired up after this chat. You're a motivational man. Like, you have to get on this podcast game, mate. I know you're working on building your social media, etc. But you need to do it. Like, just from chatting to you now, I'm like, you've got something that you need to share with the world. I know obviously you're doing it through your businesses, but you can have a massive reach on social media, which is a whole different topic completely. And we could probably talk about healthcare and for 2 hours straight, undoubtedly. 100%. So we'll try and go through as much as we can, so you can obviously spread as much value as possible. But I don't know about you, but I had like almost a bodybuilding background at first as a PT, and I found that I wouldn't really wake up with, like, I enjoyed my job, but now I wake up, like you said then, like we're on the front line, I wake up knowing that, and I'm so much hungrier, and I've got like this drive and purpose to go and help people every single day, and every hour in my day is like I'm using that to bring value to people and to live what I feel is my purpose. And I feel like you've got that similar mindset now, whereas before, when I was training people for more bodybuilding like purposes and just for aesthetics, like it wasn't giving me that fire in the belly. I know you had a different start to life when you were in the call center, etc. So obviously you weren't waking up every morning feeling like I'm gonna go and smash today, I'm hungry. So what would you say to people who are listening to this who aren't really motivated right now for life? What was the turning point for you to make you go, do you know what, I'm going to go and start something else because this isn't working for me?
Yeah, that's a tough question. And I think for me it really comes down to purpose. Somebody's got to have a purpose and a desire. However, there's a lot of people that I find are living. I mean, I see it in friends, I see it in family, I see it in people in the industry. People lack purpose. And I think in order to do that, I know you and I are big on it. I see that you do this and you write down your goals. You get up every morning, you read. I'm the same as you, mate. I read a ton. I find people that motivate me in this world, and I invest my free time into feeding the beast, so to say. You know what I mean? I feed myself. I write down my goals twice a day, every single day. I don't fuck around with that. That's so fucking valuable to me, man. That's a life changer. And that would be one thing I would say to people. Get in touch. Sit down on a piece of paper, and look at your life and see where you're currently at, see where you want to be, and then just simply look at what is the gap in between. What are the things missing? Is it more money? Is it health? Is it a better marriage? Is it living in a different city, different country? I mean, what's the gap there? And then start writing that down every day and just really focusing on what your goals are. And I think from there, it's about building confidence to go out and do something. Because as you and I know, starting your own business, it takes confidence and a deep passion and like a fight within to say, like, there's absolutely no opportunity to fail. For me, the only way in failing is if I stop attempting something. I mean, I fail more than I succeed, but if I continue at that process, it's just a matter of time before I'm successful.
Absolutely. And you've got to have that self-belief, because when you run your own business, like, there's so many things behind closed doors that people don't see that we go through as business owners, that we put on this positive front, but there are times where like things aren't going right, and you've got to have so much self-belief, and you've almost got to embrace the failures. And I've got to a point now where if something goes wrong, I'm like, I enjoy it almost, because I know that nothing's going to stop me in my future. I just think long term versus one bad thing today, and I'm like, I'll learn from that. Therefore, next time I'll just deal with it even better, And I think that you've got to have so much. That's why a lot of businesses fail, because it isn't normally the product; it's normally the person behind it.
Yeah, 100%. So, I think just touching back on that is, I think that it's really important. People just really need to find out what their purpose is in life, number one. And by doing that, there's no way you're going to do that if you're not willing to invest the time to sit down and write down goals and like figure yourself out. Because, when I remember when I first started this stuff and looking at my goals, I just wrote down a bunch of random shit. And I saw over the time how I really started to invest in myself daily, how that changed. So I really got to know myself.
Yeah.
And I got to know my delivery better to people and what I was putting across. When you and I talk about putting on a front that a lot of people don't see, the downsides of, self-employment, there was a stage here that about maybe just under 2 years ago, we tried to do some attempts. We made some attempts to grow our business in Calgary, and unfortunately it hit a downturn in the economy at the time. The energy sector over here in Canada, North America, United States hit a big downturn, which is a big feeding ground for the environment in Calgary, is the energy sector, oil and gas sector. And, we lost a lot of money on this. We lost, tell you, it was close to about $200,000 on this. We had some people in the meantime with portions of our Vancouver business stealing from us. So, I've been copied, I've been ripped off, I've lost money, and I said to my wife when we got back, my wife was in tears over that, and she was very upset. And I said to her, listen, you're not going to see me much for the next 6 months. But when we come back and focus on Vancouver, we're going to build the busiest fucking business in this industry, and we're going to be on top of the game. And I guarantee it within under 6 months. And we are, and we did it. And it was just a matter. I looked around at the competition, like I said to you, and I said, this is easy, because these people, I'll outwork all of them. And I've got more passion and more fight than all of them. So it was easy. It was a lot of work. I didn't get to see my wife, a lot for that time, but it was just building the confidence, and it helped get her confidence that she could go out and see, like, we just lost a lot. And this fucking guy is out there just doing this, like, there's no time to sit around and feel sorry for myself. That was an opportunity right there. I remember looking at myself and said, like, what happened? What did I do to deserve this? And then, I figured, change the fucking mindset, bro. Like, this is just part of business. People lose shit all the time. I made maybe a couple choices that weren't right at the time, and I learned from that. That won't happen again. But it was just a push to get through that, man, and then be where we are now. We're busier than we were before we tried that. So it was a good learning experience for both of us. For our business, we learned a lot of things. A lot of things to protect your business on the legal side, a lot of things in terms of finances, a lot of things in terms of, corporate leasing spaces, and anyhow, the list goes on. But it's just that never quit attitude, man. And I think had I not invested in myself over the years, that would have been a very good opportunity to just feel sorry for myself and just say, you know what, I need to find an easier route here. Maybe I'll just go work for someone,
That's powerful. That's powerful. But like, yeah, I've listened to a lot of podcasts. There's a podcast I listen to called How I Built This, which is basically just like entrepreneurs like yourself who have massive businesses, and people see the business they got now and think, wow, they're lucky. But then if you listen to their story, like yourself, they've had so many lessons and failures and hard cut. Like, it's not easy. It's never easy. And to get to the point where you are now, it's taken some serious fucking work, right?
Yeah, it has. And I mean, likewise with you as well, right? I mean, and you know, you're doing it real big on the online world, and that was a side of things for me now that I really didn't focus on. I'm very new to it. Instagram is a very new thing. YouTube is kind of next for me. I feel I have a message and I need to put it across, like you said about a podcast. So that sort of thing will be next for me, and you're pushing hard on that. And and it's hard when you look at people when they first start out, and you can look at some of the people maybe that you follow too, and they're very successful on that side, and they looked at it and said, well, shit, I was putting out these videos and nobody liked them, nobody watched them. But you know what? If they quit right there, they never would have gotten to the stage of where they were and said, oh my God, nobody watched my video. Well, who cares? Make another one. You know what I mean? Nobody watched that one too. Make another one. 2 people watched that. Send it out. Ask all your friends to send it out. 10 people watch that. Bang. And that's how we grow things, man. It's just persistence is so key in anything in life. And this is also for our clients. We can share that with them and just teach them about, when they get frustrated about their diet, or they had a bad weekend, or they went on a vacation and they come back and they feel really bad about themselves, and say, listen, we too go through that. We don't have this perfect physique that we were built with. Well, some of us might, but I don't. I don't know if you do. You know what I mean?
No, definitely not.
You know what I mean? We work real hard at it. We work real hard at being healthy, having the energy for the days that we want, looking the way that we want. I mean, it's hard work and it's persistence, and it's not easy. And you see some friends and, they're out there eating whatever the hell they want, and you're thinking, yeah, that'd be nice, But hey, it's dedication, man. It's dedication.
Persistence,
you know what I mean?
dedication,
yes.
Perseverance, like all of these, like you said there, like I had about a year on YouTube and Instagram where no one was watching me.
Yeah.
I still haven't got the audience that I know I can have, and I know I will have. But like, if I'd stopped in them videos there when no one was watching, or when people were taking the mick, like I wouldn't be sat here having a conversation with you now, because I've met you through social media, and
absolutely,
I wouldn't have the opportunities that my life is now being presented with now if I'd stopped building my brand. And it takes time, and it takes people. Not people who are going to watch, or it takes people who are going to judge in a bad way. And at first, you do suck at it generally. Like on camera at the moment and speaking, you're unbelievable. So I'm thinking, fuck, you're going to be good straight away. Whereas for me, when I first started, I was awkward. I didn't enjoy it very much. Well, I enjoyed it, but I just wasn't as good at it. Like now, I'm so much more comfortable speaking. Even like public speaking in when I go and do events. Like I couldn't do that 5 years ago when I was at university. I struggled massively with nerves or whatever, whereas now I just, like you say, purpose. I've got a purpose. I know what I want to do. Confidence builds from just starting, and then if anything, I like it when no one watches a video, because I'm like, oh, that one was shit, I'll do it different next time. Rather than think I'm shit, I'll just be like, no, I'll just do it differently next time. And if every day presents a lesson for me, I write down my lessons learned every evening from that day and what it presented me, because there's parts of my day where there's always room for improvement. And like you say, my goals are written down every single day. Morning and evening I'll do gratitude, just to help me stay grounded, because otherwise 100%. You can get so goal driven and forward thinking that you can't stay present. But yeah, inspiring, mate. I'm loving this talk. Let's keep talking. So big books. Yeah. You're in self-development. How many hours do you reckon a day? Because you spend about 10 to 12 hours training clients or whatever it might be. How many hours do you reckon you spend on yourself as well? So obviously that's a lot. That's already someone's full-time day, right? You still spend time on you as well. So you're eating well. You're training for an hour a day. You read as well every day. What books do you read?
I read every day, man. I watch things on YouTube. I mean, I listen to podcasts. I mean, I write down my goals. I go for walks sometimes to kind of get my head cleared. To this point in my life, I'm my wife always says, you're pushing too hard. And I said, listen, I feel like I'm not pushing hard enough. This is the time where I figure I can lose sleep right now, if necessary, to pursue something further. I'm driven, man. I'm on fire. It's hard for me to even turn my mind off to sleep sometimes. So if anything, maybe that's the downside. Maybe I need to do more meditation and stuff like that before bed. But I find that I have so many things that I want to achieve and do. And just even reaching out, you and I collaborating from, across the globe, man. I mean, we're at a 7-hour time difference right now. I mean, you know, it's amazing, man. I mean, look at what we're doing, man. And you got to kind of push through, and we got to have this conversation, and we could do more. And there's big collaborations that we could do down the future. I mean,
100%.
absolutely, man. It's brilliant. There's just no end. I just see no end. That's the thing that just fuels me. I see no end to the things that we can accomplish as human beings, as a driven human being, and someone that's passionate enough. And you don't have that passion, man. I mean, it's going to be real hard to push through on the tough times. So I find you got to just invest in yourself. It's the greatest. I look forward to it. Sometimes when I'm banging out like a 6-hour stretch of people back to back, and I've got an hour to go and grab a coffee and read, man, I just look forward to it. I can't wait to get to that spot just to grab a coffee and read and invest in myself and put back, refuel, and then go back and push it forward to someone else. It's like kind of creating that energy and then passing it off to someone else.
100%. The whole idea of the Be More podcast, like you're making me think this now. Like, I'm just excited for people. Like, we live in myself. Like, I do my gratitude every day, and one of the things I write down is the time that we live in. Like, my dad couldn't do this stuff when he was my age. Like, and I know you say like you're just getting started. You're hungrier than ever now. And I listen to a lot to Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you like. Do you know Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
He says the same thing. He's like, I'm just starting. If you look at that guy, he's got a monster of a business, like a massive
100%.
following. But he feels like he's just starting. Like, he's hungrier than ever. He feels better than ever. And you're the same. Like, you're 40, but you've still got 50, 60 years to go. Right? You're like, nah. And you're not saying to Mrs. we're going to settle down. I'm going to go 5 times harder and build an even bigger monster to have an even bigger impact on people and live my purpose and be fulfilled. Because by the sounds of it, your business is booming. You could probably relax a bit and go on more vacations or whatever, but you're like, nah, this vacation for me is the case of I'm going to recharge, I'm going to do some more self-development. I don't know what you're doing, I don't know what your plan is, but I can imagine that's what you're probably doing. And then when you go back, you've got a million more ideas, you're fresh, you're creative, and you're just going to go at it.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll tell you a little bit into when we talk about vacation. This is a vacation for me for my 40th birthday. Yeah, come back to where we're from to see family, friends. Great opportunity to do that. But we also, over the time of growing our businesses, we've put money into other revenue flows or avenues for us. We got into a little bit of real estate. So these are things on the side that help us stay very busy in this career, because sometimes, people when they're starting out, it's very money motivated, and I can totally understand that. I mean, you have to make a living, or people have certain ideas of what their life should be and how much money they need to make to do that. So whatever you need to do to make enough money in the beginning to start to be able to push hard into something that you want to do, you got to do. And that never really changes. So even at this stage now, to stay in the game and to keep pushing, we've looked at other things. What can we do outside of our industry that's almost, I don't want to say passive income, but it's a totally different revenue stream. So we've got into real estate a little bit. So on this vacation, we're going back to Calgary, where we have a place that we're actually putting on the market to sell this one. If it doesn't sell, we'll set up the renters. But anyhow, so I mean, it's a little bit of business, a little bit of personal, but there's also some opportunities going around. We're looking at some new lease spaces and stuff in Calgary, and it just never stops, man. I mean, it's just always looking for opportunity. I mean, turning a vacation into a partial business trip too, that fires me up more than sitting on a beach and just kicking my feet up and relaxing. I'm bored with that. I've done that. I did that when I was younger, and I feel like I missed a lot of time when I was younger because I got started late. So, I don't have the need for a vacation to kick my feet up. You know what I mean? Next year we're coming over your way. We're going to come see you, and man, you and I will put some crazy stuff together, man. We'll do some crazy stuff. So, I mean, Is that work? Is that work? Is that a vacation? I don't know. That sounds like a pretty fantastic vacation to me, but I mean,
it's not for everyone, but I'm the same. Yeah. That would be my idea of an unbelievable trip. Like, it's all about self-awareness. Like, by the sounds of it, you're building up your self-awareness at a fucking quick rate, and you know what works for you, and you know what holiday will be right for you, and you know what, like, the same. Like, in a minute, my missus is off in Jamaica, I'm here working, and I don't need a holiday.
Yeah, 100%.
But
100%.
I've got goals where I want to, like yourself, where I want to see the world, I want to travel, but I want to do it for the reason of the culture. I want to learn about that. I want to meet people. I want to try and influence them if I can, and that's why I want to travel. I want to go and learn. Like,
Absolutely.
I want to be a better person as a result of it, and that's what my last travel did. Whereas my holiday wouldn't be to go sit in a all-inclusive hotel for a week, eat loads of shit food around loads of shit. Like, just,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
I want to go and do fun, impactful, purposeful stuff in my day.
Yeah, that impacts me much more than kicking back and so-called relaxing, having, you know what I mean, all-inclusive, drinking, eating shit. I mean, that's not really my thing. You know, I'm not really into that. So, you know, I mean, when you're talking about immersing yourself in other cultures, you know, I look at the opportunity in that, and I said, the more that you learn about another culture, the better that you can now bring your product and what you're trying to do to help people into that culture. The more that, you know, you can embrace them, they can embrace you. So it's a brilliant concept, man. It's just about, you know, getting in and getting to know people and understanding people. And I think the more that you understand people and cultures, the more that you can help people. Because there's definitely a culture of people out there that you and I are trying to hit and trying to help, and that's really anyone. There's no barriers, there's no country barriers, there's no provincial barriers. I mean, let's make this thing happen. If there's somebody in, you know, LA that wants our help, and we can help, and that's great. If there's somebody in London to Calgary to Japan, I mean, it doesn't matter. There's no borders. We just want to help people. So it's about us kind of fine-tuning ourselves and just investing so that we can kind of push that forward and really make a difference, make an impact on people. And that's exciting to me, more so than any kind of vacation sitting around, you know, lying around. And hopefully that motivates other people to kind of think about what they're doing in life too, whether it be their own health and fitness or you know, in their own job or their own marriage, their own relationships, their friendships. It's just to really sit back and, you know, because you and I we're just regular dudes, man. We're not celebrities. We're just regular guys. You know what I mean? We're just out there doing our thing. So we're just regular people, but we're like really driven. And I think we're capturing a lot of life by having that drive, because you're aware and you're awake. You know, and speaking of that, man, I got to show y'all. Look at this, man. The sun is coming up. Check this view out.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Like come on now, right?
That place
isn't that unreal, man?
That was me thinking my view from my flat was good, and
Oh, hey, you know, by the way, man, congratulations on that, man. That's phenomenal. You guys got a phenomenal place. Looks like you guys got a phenomenal relationship going. I mean, it's just brilliant, man. And I mean, if you were in maybe a different place in your life that you didn't have the confidence or the awareness, that opportunity may have passed. You know,
Absolutely.
So I mean, now you've scooped yourself up with a fantastic girl. You guys got great, awesome living accommodations. I mean, that's quality of life, right? I mean, I see you out there. You're right by the water. At our place in Vancouver, we're kind of similar. So you get out and you're by the seawall, we call it, or by the strand or whatever, and you're out by the water and out by the ocean. You can kind of get out there and kind of get your mindset right. I mean, what a place to just grab a book and go read, right?
Absolutely. Yep. It's so good.
Stunning.
Just quick, my Mac has just told me that my Mac's about to go to sleep, so I haven't got my charger. So let's wrap this up, and then we're going to do episode 2, because you've been unbelievable, and the value you've added is going to help so many people. Just quick, number 1 book. What's everyone got to go read?
Be Obsessed or Be Average, Grant Cardone.
I like that guy, but I've not read that.
Yeah, check it out, man.
Yeah?
It's bloody brilliant, man. It'll change your life, man. Just the concepts in there. Second one of that would be 10X, the 10X rule. Grant Cardone, again, he's my man.
You're a big fan of him, so that's why you're in the real estate game, because he's obviously the real estate guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in the real estate game, but what really got me to him is his personality spoke to mine. I'm kind of I've been known to be like an aggressive personality. I'm on fire. I'm outspoken. I'm driven. I'm not really too concerned if people don't really like me or don't like what I have to say. I've already, by the time someone's expressed their dislike for me, I've already kind of passed them with something else. You know what I mean? So, and he's very much that way. So I find that just kind of gave me the right advice for my personality and gave me the okay to be who I am and not have to change and water down my version for someone else. Yeah, check it out. Great books, man. 10X Rule and Be Obsessed or Be Average. Brilliant.
Grant Cardone, top man. I'm going to go and buy them both right now. So
yeah, it'll change your life, man. I'm telling you. What's yours?
Oh, great question.
Oh man, I had to put you back on the spot.
Great question.
Yeah.
Well, I've already mentioned The Slight Edge in a lot of podcasts as a really, really good book. It's about the compound effect kind of principle. The Alchemist is another book that probably changed my life as well.
Okay, you got to put those photos up on Instagram so that I can go down and check those authors out, and so everyone else, all your audience can, and we can scoop those up too.
100%, we will do that,
Yeah.
and we will do take two when I've got my bloody charger plugged in. The problem is I'm at my dad's now because I haven't got internet in my flat yet, but that's being sorted this week, so we'll do take two, mate. You up for that?
Absolutely, let's do it, man. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm fired up now for the day, man. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
You've got a whole day ahead of you in that beautiful place. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. It was absolutely brilliant.
We'll do take 2, 3, and 4, I think, because you've got something there that I want to share with my audience. So, legend. Thanks very much.
Brilliant, man. I appreciate it, man. Talk to you soon.
Cool. Take care, mate.
Cheers. Take care.
Thank you so much for listening to that episode. I'm sure you'll agree he is a hugely motivational man. So, excited to have him on more episodes coming soon. Thanks again for listening. Have an awesome rest of your day. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with me via Instagram DM or tweet me, whatever's best for you. I'll find it and I'll get back to you. I reply to all the messages that I get. So yeah, please get in touch. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll be forever grateful if you could leave us a review, and I'll see you in the next episode.